know I got you on this one, Coach. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The fanatic. But we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, 864. Yeah. The FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Come rock with me. We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the fanatic, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gon' eat everything up off they plate? Who the next one that's really gon' step up and be great? Yeah, the FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah, part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah, part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah. Don't forget to smash that like button. Comment, subscribe, all that. The fanatic. Yeah.
Welcome in, hey, college football fans, man. It's another episode of Saturday Night Snap Count on the Fanatic Sports Network, man. Listen, we are here today. The slate of games wasn't the most exciting name-wise, but listen, it was a pretty decent day of college football. My Georgia Bulldogs struggled with a scrappy South Carolina team, but ended up pulling it off anyway. You had Alabama not looking good after a delayed game in South Florida in the monsoon. Ohio State. Hey, they started slow but pulled off and ended up smashing, I think it was Western Kentucky or something like that. Right now, we're watching the Tennessee-Florida game. Coach, I'll try to tell y'all, take Florida and the points. I'll try to get y'all a little betting help. But nevertheless, man, we're here to talk all the games and watch that Colorado State game coming up at 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and bring on our guest, man. First up, co-host, man, my guy, Stat Guy. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, we were doing good if football games were only 30 minutes.
Big fact. Hey, but y'all play good, man. Hey, y'all play good, man. I ain't gonna take nothing from y'all, man. Y'all did us in the first half. I think this is what we always talk about, though. Like, championship teams have to have competitive depth, and I thought you saw that depth come out in the second half for the Bulldogs, man. Shout out to Steven G, man. Steven, what's going on, man? He's already in the comments, man. That's right. Hank, listen, Hank's in here to watch you eat that crow. Listen, another one of those games, man. Oklahoma absolutely smashed Tulsa. I think it was like 66-10 or something like that. Leave no doubt, Herman. Run it up, man. Hey, before we go on, man, bring in my other guest, man. Listen, man, my co-host from Respect the Heads, man. We just did this fat live at Creature Conference yesterday, man. My guy, Shouted. What's going on? Shouted that. Parker.
Gentlemen, what's happening?
What's going on, man?
What's going on with that?
Hey, look here, Coach. Like I said yesterday on the show, we like the barometer. We're going to let you know where you at. That game right there, South Carolina came out firing. But that second half is what? A little bit better coaching staff, a little bit better team, meaning more depth, better players, making those adjustments. And that showed you what was the difference in a good team and an elite team.
I think that was the difference, man. Like I say, South Carolina definitely has some guys, man. Shout out to Debo Williams, the linebacker, man. He played an awesome game tonight to me. TJ, what's his name, Stat Guy?
TJ Sanders, number 9.
TJ Sanders was causing all kind of havoc in the first half, man. And he's blowing up a lot of plays. But at the end of the day, like Stan said, man, it's the difference between, you know, where you are and where you want to be. I think ultimately Shane Beamer had a good game plan. He just didn't have enough Jimmies and Joes to carry out that game plan. And in the second half, we showed, that we had the Jimmys and Joes, and the coaching got better in the second half. Not to, for nothing. I mean, listen, for the most part with Mike Bobo, I didn't mind the play calling. Some of the formations I didn't like, but the plays themselves, we didn't execute a lot in the first half. Carson Beck missed some throws. There was 2 times we missed a deep guy. Like just run. I know one time Dylan Bell was just the runoff guy where a wide receiver was just told to go out there and run the guy off the line, but the guy didn't go with him. He was wide open. It was like a free play. It was like, I want to say it was the end of first quarter, beginning of second quarter. I'm like, bro, you still got to hit that guy. And then Roseman Jack Saint ran, him and Brock was running open on like some deep digs late in the game. So I need Carson. Like one thing I like, it's a good and a bad. Carson is kind of emotionless, so it's good because he don't get flapped. But I need to see something more from my leader, man. Shout out to Mars Jam for getting in here, man. Stat guy. Before I know we're gonna talk a lot about the South Carolina Georgia game, man. But the Oklahoma fans are in here to see you eat that crow, Stat guy, man.
Look, I'm a man of my word. I was dead wrong. We did the Oklahoma season preview. I stepped out of pocket. Said they had to travel to Tulsa. Tulsa was going to give them a game, was going to give them all they wanted, and that was going to be the beginning of the end of Oklahoma's season. And look, man, Oklahoma came out there today and took them boys to the woodshed. Like they had all my comments posted up on their lockers. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I know Brent Venables posted your comments in your video in the locker room, and they took that to heart, man. They absolutely crashed Tulsa, though.
100%, my picture was hanging up in the locker room all week long. Let's go prove the stat guy wrong because they thrashed them dudes. Hey man, but you know what though? You love to see it. Like I watched some of the game, man. Oklahoma looked good today. Oklahoma looked darn good today.
Yeah, and taking care of business against a lesser opponent is what you look for. I know people say, well, it's just Tulsa, but they beat them like they were just Tulsa. 5 picks is a lot. I don't care who you playing. Right. That's a lot of interceptions, dog. So that don't just happenstance. So I can't wait till a couple of weeks when we get to see this Red River, man. Texas is looking good. Oklahoma's looking good. Might be game day. Let me tell it. Shawty, what do you think about Oklahoma's performance today, man?
I agree with you guys, man. Like when you play teams like that, you're supposed to beat them like that. That's what you're supposed to do. Like you have problems and questions when you don't perform to that kind of level. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like you didn't get up for them. They weren't ready. All kind of excuses. But when you play teams like that, you're supposed to smash them. So I mean, I don't really take much from it.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, they handled them like they were supposed to. I mean, they're getting into that ilk where it's expected and you do what's expected. So Steve B say Texas is only up 10-7 at half. Hey man, that's that Alabama letdown that a lot of teams go through, man. When you play or Alabama close or you beat Alabama the next week, some reason it's like you just cannot get up for the opponent. So the thing is, Wyomin's not a bad team, but Texas still should be handling them. That's what we just talked about with Oklahoma. They handled Tulsa like they were supposed to. So,
well, that's maybe, and who knows? Maybe I'm out of pocket with this, but I kind of like the good old days in the 90s and early 2000s of the BCS era, where when an Oklahoma played a Texas or a Tulsa, this is what they did to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to go out there and hang 66 on them to get those style points that they talked about. Like, I like seeing you're a better football team. Go out and beat them like a bad football team, like you should. Don't even leave no doubt. Don't let them hang around for a quarter or two. Just go out there and put your foot on their throat off the rip.
That's right. Penn State beat Illinois. It's 30-13, I think it was. Conference win. I'll take it. If I'm Penn State.
Cover the 14.5. So
yeah. So what games caught your eye today, Shawty? Other than the Dogs struggling today.
That's really where my focus was, man. I watched a lot of football, but that was my focus. But other than that, that Florida and Tennessee game is very, very interesting, man.
The Florida was getting 7.5, man, and I tried to tell people, listen, Tennessee is missing a lot from 2022, and they're not the same explosive offense. Oh my gosh! Hey, new development before we go on with the Tennessee. Oklahoma State is down 32-7 to South Alabama, bro. Hey, shout out to Steve B for getting that. Listen, is that on TV, Steve B? Because if so, I just got to see that with my own eyes, man. That is bananas, dog. Listen, I don't care if you playing. Listen, the Gundy sandwich. Shawty say it all the time, man. At some point, you gotta get tired of that same 8, 9, 10 win sandwich, man. And I know he's an alum and all that stuff. ESPN Plus. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to log in. Hey, by the way, is the Colorado game on? I know it's supposed to come on at 10 on ESPN, okay. Florida and Tennessee still playing. So
they push the kickoff back. It's not kicking off till 10:20.
I got you. Well, it's 10. All right, okay, cool.
Oh, look, I'm gonna tell you what this is the thing that people got to understand, and the Pac-12 and a lot of these conferences, they are so all of a sudden they got their chest just poking out, right? Or they feel like the SEC looks so bad. But they got to understand with all those conferences, they got the same quarterbacks coming back. Breaking in all new quarterbacks, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Outside of KJ Jefferson, you're right. KJ Jefferson and Spencer Rattler for South Carolina. Everybody that's contending, Jaden Daniels. But you like Alabama, Georgia.
The top guys.
Yeah, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Everybody breaking in a new quarterback. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's 3:20 left in the game. Tennessee, Florida. Florida's up 13. The spread was 7.5. I thought that was a lot of points in the first place, especially for a place that Tennessee has not won. It's since 2003 and have only won 5 times ever. And people was telling me, listen, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna kick it to you straight, man. I got a homeboy talking sauce, Tim Burrell, man. Listen, I like to go on this show, man. He's a Florida Gator. I'm good. I'm cool with him. I don't even like advocating for the Gators, bro, but I'm on his show telling him why Florida gonna win, and they didn't believe me. Like the Florida nation thought they was gonna lose this game too. I'm like, listen, I text him. I was like, man, don't ever have me being the only reasonable guy advocating for Florida again. I was like, listen, Tennessee just ain't the same team, dog. I mean, y'all watching the game, dog. I'll say my stat guy. What you see in Tennessee? What's not the same?
The QB, we talked about it earlier. I was like, what do me and Joe Milton have in common? We can both throw a 35-yard pass to nobody. Like, there's been 2 or 3 times tonight where he's had guys where last year it was 6. And this year it's just laid out in front of him where nobody can get it. Like, he has no touch on his deep ball. I don't know if you're behind or whatever. He just missed a touchdown pass 4 seconds ago that it was out of the dude's fingertips and the dude laid out for it. Like, what do you...
Bruh, that's what I'm saying, man. I tried to tell him, man. Hendon Hooker was crazy accurate, dog. Like, I know he wasn't the best athlete, but that dude was crazy athlete. And not for nothing, Joe Milton's a better athlete, but Hendon Hooker got more rush yards, at the same point in the season than Joe Milton. You know what I'm saying?
But let me tell you this, too. Also, you got to understand is people got a lot more film on them, too.
That's true. That's true. But, hey, people had film on Hendon Hooker. He was still doing them, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey,
I'm trying to shout out to the Hall of Fame Mafia, man. It was one of, I think, Jason or one of the, might have been Steve or one of them. It was like hitting. Joe Milton has lost his starting job, twice. Once at Michigan, once at Tennessee. So you got to take that in consideration. There's something going on that he's not able to do to get there. All right, so we got an update. Stephen G said BYU Arkansas is tied at 31. It is a good game. How much time left, Stephen G? By the way, I did say this morning on Jason's show to take BYU and the points because Arkansas and Rocket Sanders was not going to play. And KJ Jefferson is good, but Arkansas just ain't this juggernaut that's going to just absolutely do you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So let me know how much time left, Stephen G. I still got that Tennessee-Florida game on.
I got a game we need to talk about.
What's up?
That Mizzou walk-off with the thicker kicker from 61 yards.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm watching the game, right? And your boy from Missouri, the coach, he literally waited and took the penalty, the 5-yard penalty. I'm like, and it took it he took the penalty. I'm like, y'all could have actually kicked the 55-yarder, but I was like, well, I guess he knows something I don't know. And then you watch Kansas State literally don't stand. They didn't even cover the center. They literally put somebody on both guards and didn't cover the center, and they really didn't even come after the kick. I'm like, it's a line drive kick. You can put a 4 wide receiver back there just to jump up and block that.
Yeah.
Right down the middle. Right down the middle. So
You know, I mean,
Stephen G says 152 left in the third. BYU Arkansas tied at 31. So Jason's jumping in. What's up, Jason, man? He said Oakland getting drugged. Yeah, man. I think Stephen G or Stephen B pointed that out early, man. Like, that is bananas that they getting drugged like that by South Alabama, dog. But yeah, back to the Mizzou, Kansas State, man. That's crazy. Kansas State, watch them. They may go out and play Texas harder than they played Mizzou.
Mm-hmm. But what you like? But again, we talk about like from a deep field goal like that. It's got it. The only way it's going is by a low line drive. All you do is somebody jump up. I mean, look at the Clemson kicker that had a couple blocked against Duke. You get a 6'7" lineman and tell him to put his paw up and get a fingertip on it.
Big facts, man. Welcome into the show, man. Jason from Hall of Fame College Football, man. What's going on, Jason? You having a good old night, man. Okie Light getting drugged. Texas is in a dog fight with Wyoming. You having a good old night.
Heaven forbid they didn't get their flowers this week for going in and beating Alabama and old Texas, you know, and then Okie Light talking all that shit, playing three quarterbacks and getting drugged by an HBCU. That's worth it.
Hey, man, this is
good times in Norman. Good times in Norman.
Big facts. Is Wyoming in Austin or are they in Wyoming?
Yeah, they're in Austin.
Oh, that's that Alabama hangover, bro. We say it in the SEC.
Not for naught. Wyoming went to Texas. Didn't Wyoming go to Texas Tech and beat them?
No, Texas Tech.
No, it was at Wyoming. It was at Wyoming.
17-0 and lost. So
yeah, Stephen B said as a new SEC member, he loves seeing Mizzou beat K-State. That's right, Stephen B. Hey, SEC baby.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, man. It's getting hard to defend these SEC conversations, though, man. We looking tough. It's getting hard to defend them, man.
Hey, listen, Jason, y'all got to keep it up, man. You got to come bring something so we can keep that SEC alive, baby.
Not to worry, we're on the way. Not to worry, we're on the way. Texas, you should worry about.
Go ahead and take whatever pop shot. I already made my little spew, but go ahead and take whatever pop shot you want to take out.
What do you want me to say, bro? What do you want me to say? You were full of shit.
Whatever you want to get off your chest.
What want to tell you?
Right now, we got that Tennessee-Florida game on, Jason. I told you, man, Florida and them points, dog.
You were right. You were right, man. You were right. And I can't believe that anybody didn't. I mean, I said it to you on the show. I was like, hey, man, they ain't won it in 20 years. I don't know why everybody thinks that it's such a foregone conclusion that Tennessee's going to win.
Man, it goes back to 7.5.
7.5.
That's a weird. It's a weird.
That's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of points at home where they hadn't won since 2003, dog. With a new trigger man, they just struggled with Austin Peay. I thought the line should have moved down a little bit after them struggling with Austin Peay, but obviously Vegas didn't think that was enough of nothing. But listen, Shawty always say, man, the trigger man is the most important guy, and I'm telling you, man, Joe Milton just ain't Hendon Hooker. That's just what it boils down to be. I mean,
if they got to depend on Milton to win the game for them, they're in trouble, man.
Yeah, not for nothing. Score White is good, but he ain't Jalen Hyatt. You know what I'm saying? So, Hank said, how about those road games today? Yeah, it's a lot of teams on the road today that didn't fare well. Florida State at Boston College. Listen, me and my homeboy, you know that I'm at his house now.
But lose that one. They did everything but lose it.
Hey, he didn't like it going in, and I didn't like it going in either, man. Noon snoozer in Massachusetts, no energy in the stadium. That's Shawty, as a player. As a player, when you went to a stadium such as you ain't played Boston College, but somebody like that where it's not a lot of fans, it's not a lot of hype in the stadium. How hard is that? Yeah, back in the day, yeah, going to Ole Miss. I mean, even though they got more seats than Boston College, but what's your mentality going into that? Because you can't even get hyped on the crowd talking trash to you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's just the main thing about it, man. When it's an SEC game, when it's a conference game, I mean, you almost have to get up for them. Because all of them can be, just real talk. It's any given Saturday off.
That's what separates good teams from not good teams, right? You just show up.
Big facts, man. And listen, shout out to Florida State for actually pulling out the win. They did what champions do, win close games, but not for nothing, man. Boston College coach, man. I don't know if he's what he was doing in the fourth quarter. He had it like down on like the 7-yard line. Dude went for it on fourth down. I'm like, get the field goal, dog. Take the points. What are you doing? And that was the difference in the game.
Right? Yeah,
that was the difference in the game. I guess he was like, I can't believe we in the game and let's go for the win type stuff. But you do that, like Stat Guy says, you do that when you on the road and you the underdog. You don't do that when you at home.
33-7, South Alabama wins.
Oh my God! Listen, hey, not for nothing, Jason. Check on your boy Cody after the show, dog. I don't know if he, bro.
Oh no, I'm gonna rub that shit right in. That's just all that's gonna happen, bro. There ain't.
Hey, Stephen G got a question for the panel. He said, "How bad is Pitt this year?" Listen, again, another one I told you, take West Virginia in the points. I actually said West Virginia's going to win outright.
The hardest places to play at nighttime anyways, though. I mean, it is just isn't. It's a rivalry game. You don't know what's going to happen there.
But, I watched the Penn State game.
Very good.
I meant Penn State, West Virginia. West Virginia had a good showing against Penn State. And Penn State, I feel like, is one of the more talented teams in the nation. Pitt got done in by Cincy. I don't think Thad. I don't think we're gonna get JJ tonight either, man. It's been a while. I don't think we're gonna get him tonight because I think that they still playing, but I think Pitt is like 6-7 or something like that. So
well, he's gonna have to come out of the cave at some point.
Hey, how about Arkansas? Arkansas and BYU are tied at 31 and going into the fourth.
Another one I said too many points, dog.
Yeah.
And the pick 'em contest, they was giving them 10.5. I thought that was way too many points. What's up there?
The way the game's been going, how much shakeup in the top 5 or even top 10 you think we're gonna see?
So who's number 2? That's what I want to say. I didn't see the AP poll this last week.
Who was number 2? I know.
Was it Florida State?
Went up to 3.
No.
Florida State.
No, Florida State with 3.
Florida State with 3. Was Texas 2? Michigan. I could see. CU game is about to kick off. I could see Michigan being number 1. To be honest with you, just because of how we look, I wouldn't even be mad at it.
Michigan didn't play very good either, though.
But did they play like our first half? We was down 14-3 at halftime. Was they down at halftime though?
Bro, hold on. Let me show you this game. Hold on. It wasn't.
All right. So CU game kicking off. There we go. I got it. Come on, Dion. What was the score? What was the score at halftime? Like what was the
31-6? But they were only up 13-6 at the half.
I got you. Well, maybe it don't get any shakeup,
That's a 25-point different swing though.
It's Bowling Green, bro. It's Bowling Green at home, and you only got a 6-point lead at halftime.
No, Stephen G said it was Michigan 7-6 at halftime, so that's even worse. So maybe there's no movement. Texas is struggling right now. We don't know if they're going to win or lose. Florida State struggled on the road.
Slide? You don't think they slide?
No, because you got to slide when somebody behind you do something better. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like USC was off this weekend, so they're not going to move up. I think behind USC was Ohio State and Penn State. Now, Ohio State did look better, so maybe you're right. Maybe Florida State slides a little bit and Ohio State jumps them, flip-flop again like they just did,
Since he's trying to lose to Miami of Ohio.
Not a good look for Pitt either because, they just came off of that. So the Colorado State game has kicked off. Colorado State got the ball, so
ass whipping on the way.
Bro,
yeah.
That type of lame. Why did he call a timeout with 9 seconds left? Down 29-16. Bro,
because he listen, you can't cover the spread, bro. You was 7.5-point favorites. What are you doing?
Bro, I ain't got no ESPN Plus, man. I mean, I could pull it up, but I ain't trying to put the app on my TV, man. I'm just like
I know, right?
Hey, that's okay. In 2 weeks, my boys will take care of me. My boys will get some payback for this.
That South Carolina Tennessee game is looking real interesting right now.
Oh, well, now there's a fight because of it. Oh,
Ooh,
like a fit.
that
like
one ain't. Yeah, he didn't have to do that.
54 out there.
We didn't have to do that, man.
But you know what? But you know what? If he lets the time run out, that don't happen.
Right. That's why this is on Josh Heupel.
Come on, Florida, you just got to win, bro. Oh, he got the paws up on him and everything.
Oh, yeah, don't go throwing punches, man.
54 for Florida was looking like George Foreman out
bro,
there.
you see it?
They're
There's going to be some suspension. Yeah, there's going to be some suspension.
Josh Heupel called a timeout with 9 seconds left, and then they just like 54 was like in boxing.
Dude, they boxing.
Yeah, that's what I said,
There's gonna be some suspensions handed out, man.
Hey, that's it's gonna be some suspensions. So just like a quick rundown, man. Louisville beat Indiana 21-14. LSU did Mississippi State 41-14.
At least Florida's showing some fight, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. There was some fight somewhere, right? Wisconsin started out slow against Georgia Southern. It was 14-14 at halftime, but they ended up winning 35-14. Too many Jimmys and Joes. Notre Dame, I don't have their score up here. They were 31-41-17. They end up pulling out. Duke beat Northwestern pretty bad. Wyoming is driving, according to Steve B, inside the 20. Bro, how about that? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about going into Tuscaloosa, beating Alabama, and then now possibly, maybe not, but possibly losing to Wyoming.
Hey, that's
Texas.
Did you see you saw what I said on the show earlier? I was like, man, the stuff that I'm sick of hearing is about how we're supposed to give you your flowers when you ain't done shit yet. You're 2 weeks in.
But that's not a good look right there.
Off-season don't mean shit. It's in Texas, and this is what they do.
Yeah,
so, hey,
that's not a
man.
So, question: When are we going to send Wyoming the Big 12 championship trophy?
They ain't beating Oklahoma.
They ain't got it. You still think y'all going to the Big 12 championship game? Dead.
Yeah. Who the hell?
I really don't.
K-State got beat today. Texas Tech's already crapped all over themselves more than once. Come on, man.
That wasn't a conference loss for K-State though. They chilling.
Yeah, well,
it was a
regular season though, so the only way they'd get us is in the championship game. I still think.
Yeah.
Look, Texas has the talent to get there. Oklahoma has the path though. They got the easiest schedule.
Honestly,
simple.
Unless Kansas State does something and beat one of y'all or whatever, I think we'll see Texas, Oklahoma twice.
Possibly. I
mean, yeah, they don't
Wyoming, bro. But that tells you what you get from these guys. When you want to. I heard it on.
It's hard to beat a team twice now.
Nino and them were talking. Nino and Steve were both talking on SEC Connect about why y'all moving the goalposts and all that stuff, and you're not giving us all the love we deserve for beating Alabama.
DB says first and goal Wyoming. Take that. Hey B. Wow. I don't know if what game? Hey, what channel is the Texas Wyoming game on, Steve B?
Longhorn.
Longhorn. Oh, I got Big Ten and I got everything but the Longhorn Network. We ain't got that.
If you have ESPN Plus, it's on there.
Okay, I have to put that app on. Please give me the remote right there, the black remote. Uh-oh. Listen, man. He picked it.
That's a turnover.
It went through the wide receiver's hands. Hey, I'm telling you right now, there's going to end up being a fight in this game too.
You think so? Because of the pregame. Pregame.
Yeah, they fought the pregame. Oh yeah, they just got an interception off of Shador. Oh shit. And they're slapping each other's heads and running mouth.
Uh-oh. Hey, let me tell you this. Let this be the best game of the day, right?
That's his first interception of the season.
Yeah. So now we got Tennessee.
That receiver needed to catch that ball. It was in his hands twice.
So whether it be our show or Jason's show, we all kind of talked about, preseason, what the SEC was going to look like, who was going to finish here or there. Shawty, does today's loss to Florida change your opinion that Tennessee going to finish second? It's tough, right?
Yeah, man. I'm saying it's wide open. I mean, it's literally wide open. Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky.
I
even
picked
at this
Kentucky.
point, Missouri.
At this point,
it ain't gonna be Missouri.
Listen, I picked Kentucky preseason.
Trash, man. Come on, they're trash.
Hank agrees with your stat guy. He said, "Yeah, they're gonna fight tonight."
They're already fighting. Shit, they already fighting.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna have a real one. It's gonna look like the end of that Florida Tennessee game.
Yeah. So, hey, man, we sitting on here, man, and listen. Hey, Jason, Oklahoma had a blowout. Georgia had a close win. South Carolina showed some fight. Listen, but we got some teams out there that's got some real questions. So Steve G says South Carolina might finish second if they can learn to finish a game. We know they can play a full half.
Y'all were sleepwalking through that one too. You were.
But this is the thing, though, Jason. Like, listen,
quarterback play so bad.
This is the thing, man. And I go back to something that I heard Kobe say when he talked to the Alabama team a couple, before he died. He said, "Listen, man, you don't wake up and be great when you want to be great. You got to be great every day." So what concerns me is slow start when we get to playing a team. Like, okay, let's say we go undefeated regular season and then we win the SEC championship. Then first round we get Ohio State again. Bro, we can't start a first quarter like that
this year either.
Listen, the way they playing, you know what I'm saying? Ohio State don't look like no world beaters either.
What you right? They started slow too. So I'm just saying, like, when you playing for
Ohio State's going to be there. I think who the team that nobody's really talking a whole lot about, but coaches Notre Dame, man. They started a little slow, but they ran away after that.
Listen, Penn State's been pretty consistent. I said Penn State, this is the year. If they can do it, it's going to be do it. So he said Georgia doesn't want Tebow effect, get to the playoffs and get destroyed. Yeah, no, I don't think we'll get destroyed, but I'm not saying we will. Yeah, right now, it's like I don't like the slow start. At some point,
this quarterback, man, why ain't he getting it done?
Well, I don't know. I thought some good play. I thought for the most part there was good play callings. There were some formations that I didn't like, but the play itself, I didn't mind the plays itself. There was a couple of times, there was some penalties that brought back some stuff. I thought one time we dropped the pass where Carson put it. It was actually a great throw. It was like right over the defender, over to the sideline. But like Carson.
I watched
He's not playing bad. He's just not getting explosive.
That's it. He's not playing
bad. He's just not getting explosive plays.
Yeah. And so right now, all of our stuff is like 25 yards and in. You know what I mean? It's like that's fine and all until you play a team that's got as much talent as you got. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I don't know if we mad at Arian for not catching balls in the early two games, but all he did was block today. Shout out to Aaron Smith for taking whatever coaches done told him, because he was a hell of a blocker on the outside today. And I know he want that ball, but we didn't take no shots with Aaron Smith. We took one with Ra Thomas, and Carson actually threw a really good ball, but Ra Thomas is not Aaron Smith. He can't get 4 or 5 yards behind the defense, whereas he's just like a half a step behind the defense. So
he hits like 7 or 8 different guys today. Like he just spread it around. He run the offense, like I say, he's just not getting explosive plays.
And I think kudos to Mike Bobo for realizing whatever ailments was happening with him, and he started calling a whole bunch of screen plays to the outside. And hey, Carson went through a lot of reads today, so I will say South Carolina defensive secondary was either up to the task, keying on guys, whatever it was. We got another one to come in, Andrew from Sideline Sports, Penn State. What's going on, Andrew?
How we doing, gentlemen?
What's up?
Hey, man. What's going on, man? Shout out to Andrew for coming to the live show yesterday, man. Supporting the Respect the Hedges, man.
Absolutely. It
He
was
was
a
in the
great time.
neighborhood, man. He was in the neighborhood.
That's right, man. He came up, man. He came up, stayed for the whole show, man. We definitely appreciate that, though.
That's good stuff,
Of
man.
course, man.
Hey,
That's a
man, how
nice
you feeling
little
about
easy
that?
drive up from Midtown.
Yeah, how you feeling about that Penn
Oh.
State victory over Illinois?
Great defense, better offensive line play. Clearly, they wanted to take away the pass, and they did. Relied on the run game at the end. But, I mean, when you force 5 turnovers, get 20 points off of them, and that's how you win the game going away. I mean, the game wasn't really close after 23, after we scored our 23 points because Illinois just couldn't move the ball. So, hey, we'll take it. Holler's first time on the road. Get some defense. Come away with a win. Be at Whiteout next week against Iowa. So, on to the next week.
Where do y'all get Ohio State at this year? Because Ohio State hasn't started very good. If y'all can get them at the house,
Ohio State.
Oh, it does.
Is it at Ohio
we have
State
Ohio
or?
State on the road. We have Michigan.
Right.
Okay, I got you. Well, neither one of those, like Charlie pointed out earlier, man. Those guys don't really look, that explosive. It like, what is it about the top teams, dog? Like, like almost like 1 through 6 or 7, like not really looking elite. Like, is that the transfer portal NIL taking effect, or is it just people sleepwalking through games?
Could be sleepwalking, could be a little bit of everything, but I mean, my thought is like, who really cares who's number 1 through whatever, because it doesn't come out until week 8. I mean, I don't think a single team has really said, yes, I am the number 1 team in the nation. I'm going to run away with this thing, as we saw with struggling today, with Michigan being darn near tied with Bowling Green going into the second half. I mean, Ohio State hanging around a little bit too long with Western Kentucky. Texas in a dogfight with Wyoming, of all people. Penn State not being able to to go away from Illinois until, quarter 3. And I know Alabama, I mean, mercy. I don't know what the heck's going on down there, but when you got 3 quarterbacks.
4 of those teams got quarterback changes. That's what I'm saying. 4 of those teams is quarterback change.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is. Yeah, I mean,
they have a problem.
Oklahoma played Tulsa, but Dylan Gabriel looked like the truth. He was dropping dimes, man.
Hey, but a returning quarterback, though, like Starter said, a returning quarterback.
4th year in that offense, he should have done it.
Yeah, Stevie G said this year it seems like all 4 spots are wide open. I couldn't agree more. Right this second.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? On September 16th, look like 4 spots are wide open. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, y'all should have heard USC, man. He swear USC is the number 1 team in the nation right now. They playing like the number 1 team.
I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. I mean, hey, look at Florida State. Florida State down here lost to Boston College, but that's red bandana game. I get that. It's different. But Florida State is what?
Yeah. Well, what I will say is,
are you shitting me?
Listen,
man, I wish I could have got on the show, man. I couldn't even get on the show. I would have, man.
Listen, outside of San Jose State, maybe, because San Jose State was giving them dudes to work. So,
hey, Nevada put up more freaking offense on them than they did on Montana.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They haven't played anybody. They haven't played anyone. And they're gonna watch. They're gonna get all they want from Colorado. Watch them.
Listen,
this Colorado beats them. They're gonna get all they want from Colorado.
This Pac-12 is shaping up to be. Isn't this ironic? For all of the playoff era, Pac-12 hasn't been relevant, and the 1 year that they're relevant is the last year that they'll be the Pac-12 as we know it. You know what I'm saying? So,
but give it some time. They're gonna cannibalize each other. It just got to give it some time. Ain't nobody got in the meat of their schedule yet.
Like Mars said, I'm still not impressed with their defense, dog. And when they need to make a stop, I just don't see it, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, not even in the top 50 in defense, and I know they keep trying to put out that. Listen, man, they so happy they got Barry Alexander, dog. Listen, I'm trying to shout out to USC and getting the names that look like they might be better on defense. But I'm be honest with you, from the outside in, y'all always had offense. it still looks like the same defense to me. I mean, that's just what it. That's what I think. So I was happy to see some of our.
Caleb Williams, you can win. You can win every game if you have Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams is that guy. I ain't even gonna lie. Shout out to Malachi Starks, man, for Georgia, man. That dude is a playmaker. He can play deep safety. He can get up on the line, play man to man. He definitely had stepped up in the second half and covered up some of those holes that we had. Kamari Lassiter played really solid tonight. Really sorry tonight. Shout out to Kamari Lassiter, man. And I'm gonna need that other
stops in the secondary.
Yeah. I'm gonna need that other corner though. I'm gonna need that spot to be open on practice on Monday.
Hey, I mean, we talk all the time, Coach, that very rarely do you see any more corners that travel the field. Right.
Yeah.
They normally play the field side or the short side. And in the second half, I guess they told him at halftime, hey, bro, you go where Xavier Legette goes and you don't leave. And he locked him up in the second. I think he had like 2 or 3 catches in the second half, but no more of the chunk plays. I mean, no more of the lobs on the deep post or the digs busting into 15, 20 yards. He shut it all down.
Listen, man, and Kirby and Will Muschamp hate to have corners travel. They don't like that. That's not their MO, dog. They don't like it at all.
He was our best cover corner last year. Just Ringo got all the attention, but he was our best cover corner last year.
Big facts. I told my boy before the game, one guy I'm not worried about is Kamari Lassiter. He might give up a play here and there, but I'm never worried about him giving up a whole bunch all night, man. He's a solid corner. He's great in the run game, and you cannot run a bubble screen, flip screen, whatever screen you want on Kamari Lassiter. He's definitely going to tackle you for a 3-yard loss. So at halftime, I guess Glenn Schumann and Muschamp say, listen, man, do what you got to do, Kamari, but we don't want Xavier Legette catching no more passes. So shout out to Kamari Lassiter, man. He did it. Steve B.
I don't know what they told him in halftime, but that was a different team.
Cussed him out, probably. Steve B. said BYU 38.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, so BYU is up right now with 6 minutes and 21 seconds left. So
that's why you got to give the coaches so much credit. That's what I'm saying. That's all about making adjustments. That's showing you the difference in the levels of to where this game is. That's the game within the game. You know what I'm saying?
Pick six.
Pick six.
To the crib.
You are here ahead of me.
My bad.
Pick six for Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, my bad. Yeah.
Shiloh.
Oh, yeah, he read that. Oh, he ain't gonna
hit his head on the goal post.
Hey, you already know who made him. Prime didn't make that man. That man turned out at South Carolina.
Oh, stop it.
Hey,
Jason, do y'all play K-State this year?
Not unless they get into the championship game with them.
Damn, bro. So you telling me Cincy is y'all hardest test outside of Texas?
Maybe BYU on the road.
Oh, at BYU?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I think y'all
0-2 against BYU lifetime. So I mean,
I think y'all win, but I don't know what the spread is. But I'll probably take that spread for BYU.
I don't care about the spread.
Yeah, I know.
I don't bet on Oklahoma or against them ever. I just don't bet them. So
that's most of the time what I do. And I pick 'em contest. I did take South Carolina in the 27. That was a lot of points. So.
But I mean, again, I don't ever do that. But I mean, all we care about if you're an Oklahoma fan is you got to win the games. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
To me,
Jason,
it's smart.
Do you remember? You asked me what game I thought was the trap game. I think this was the first show I ever done with you.
Yeah.
And you said you thought it was Tennessee. What game I told you I thought was the trap game?
You remember that conversation? Right. I think you did say South Carolina, yeah.
South Carolina.
After y'all beat them as bad as you did, I could see that because you did it on the road. It was over by halftime. And even though they're worse than they were last year, talent-wise, really. I mean, that's one you're going to sleepwalk through. And
yeah, Mars, Florida did win 29-16. So I told y'all to take that 7.5 that Florida was getting at home against Tennessee, and they covered and beat them outright. Like that guy's got to provide food for our game watch party in 2 weeks.
What's going on with Nicholas Harvest, that guy?
Banged up. Just never.
BYU up 38-31 against Arkansas. Wow.
So I think the way they're looking at it is if he's not his whole thing is speed. So if he don't have his legs under him, what's he actually going to give you?
Yeah, Mars said did South Carolina win?
South Carolina, they won some moral victories. I don't celebrate moral victories, so they did not
win. You want to know this week in moral victories?
It's also win.
1-0 this week in moral victories.
1-0, baby.
They actually, I heard the NCAA is actually going on Monday to vote. The NCAA is voting Monday to only count the halftime score of games this week.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's good.
Got you. Stephen B says Texas just scored 17-10 with 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
I have Sling TV, and somehow that has the Longhorn Network, so I'll throw that on after I'm ending this Cincinnati-Miami of Ohio game. That's in double overtime.
Is it double?
Wow.
Cincinnati's on the 2.
Bruh.
So
Fresno State 7.
Think of a speed bump. They're going.
See, that tells you that Oklahoma needs to go in and handle business next week.
Mm-hmm.
They need to handle business, be grown. Be business-like. Get your ass over there and win that damn game.
Fresno State 7, Arizona State 0. So.
Oh, I took Fresno in those 3.5. Easy.
Yeah, I stayed away from it. There wasn't a lot of points to me. I was like, that's a little too much. So.
Is there ever a time? I know goal line was part of it, where there was actually college football style red zone where I could just have it and they just have all the games.
That would be
all
cool, huh?
Like, I'd pay for it.
Red zone was the best. It was way better than freaking the NFL Sunday ticket.
Back in it's been a while ago. They used to have from 3 to 4, 2:30 to 3:30. They showed all the ends.
Yeah, I think it was ESPN News had goal line, and it would take you to all the games that ESPN was covering, which back then was way more. So, I would just love it because right now, like you said, we have BYU, Arkansas, we have Texas, Wyoming, we have Cincinnati, Miami, Ohio State. We want to see prime time on prime time, and we also want to be doing this, So it's I wish I could just have a screen where I could just be like, okay, good, BYU just scored.
Yeah.
Too much sense.
I know Kentucky is 35-3 over Akron currently. So
Akron's horrible.
Yeah. So the onslaught is probably about to begin with Colorado State. I know Colorado State had a good first drive, but I don't see them hanging around. I took Colorado in the 22, giving Colorado State 22.5.
You took the point. Ooh.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, I took that before the sunglasses come in.
Well, the funny thing is, the sunglasses that were sent to every single one of the players and coaches on Colorado was actually shipped weeks in advance. And then it just so happened to be, how many times have we heard that soundbite of Jay Norvell talking about hats and glasses?
Cool.
So look, he had the sunglasses. I think online I saw two different prices. They had them for $67 and $97, and they already had over 1 million pre-orders.
They look great,
bro. That's crazy, dog. That's absolutely crazy for some sunglasses, dog. Regular sunglasses.
$1 million in one freaking week. Son of a bitch.
Cincinnati just threw an interception. Miami of Ohio beats them in overtime. 31-24.
Well, that doesn't give Oklahoma needs to handle business then, man. No doubt.
I was about to say, Jason, y'all can't go up there and have no struggle with dog.
And you know what? This is where you have to be. Look, it's a young team, but this is where you need to go handle shit. This is where you need to go handle it, and there's no two ways around it.
Yeah.
One of the things that bothered me about this game, and I said it on, I was just on the Horns Down podcast with K. Chris, and Reggie Pearson getting burned on that touchdown pass. You can't let that guy go. And they ran a good route on it or whatever. But I gotta tell you, I feel like he's a 6th year freaking senior. He's been a liability in pass coverage the whole time. He's great at hitting. He's a run stopper. I want to see you go and be better as a safety. You're not handing that guy off to nobody. You're the safety.
Yeah,
Did Cincinnati coach leave the cupboard dry? Did he run at the right time?
I don't think so. I think he had a great foundation there, to be honest with you. I don't know about Jimmy and Jones. You might be right about that, but Emory Jones is their quarterback, bro. We talked about that, Jason. And I'm like, listen, y'all definitely can't lose to an Emory Jones led offense.
Don't worry, he'll mess it up himself.
He lost the job to a guy that couldn't throw. I mean,
exactly.
He can't. He just ain't accurate with it, you know.
So, in all fairness, the guy was end up being a number 1 pick. In all fairness,
he's a stud. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's athletically a stud, but is he a quarterback? What do you think that does for the coach?
Indianapolis coach thought so.
Yeah, I think that.
At the end of the day,
bad decision. I'm just me. I think it was a bad decision.
Jason, talk about this comment from Steve G. He said he'd like to see Billy or Bowen be safeties in the red zone.
I agree with that. I would agree with that. I think that Peyton Bowen is proven. I mean, he doesn't make mistakes. This kid's a freshman and he gets it. He's always around the ball. He always seems to know where the ball is. They stuck him at Cheetah today. He was great. You know, he had a block kick last week. You know, he's been. They called an interference on him, but he did it. It was textbook, you know, that cradle and swat. It's exactly what you teach, coach. You know, he's just that guy. He's just that guy. And, I mean, he's fast. He's gonna end up taking one to the house on a kick return or a punt return this year. He's just that kind of kid. But I think that, you know, there's been a lot of crazy comparisons already being made for him. I think Peyton is as good as it gets. I think it's. Wow.
Ooh, dropped it in the basket. Ooh.
Yeah, he did. That was a good pass. That was a good pass. That was a good pass.
Oh, dang.
That was a good pass, dog.
Y'all gotta be better. Come on.
Listen, man. Hey, Oklahoma fans, I know y'all. Listen, man. Shout out to y'all. Y'all been showing me much love on the channel. Y'all been giving me, you know, a good 300 subscribers in the last 2 weeks. So big shout out. But listen. I picked y'all at the 22.5. What's the deal? Bruh, this is crazy. It's a lot of points, dog. But okay, so this is why I took it. So I went back and watched the Colorado State.
17, bro.
I went back and watched the Colorado State-Washington State game because Washington State plays a lot like Colorado on offense. And in that game, I know it wasn't a rivalry game, but in that game, they just could not, you know, stay with the Washington State receivers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I feel like Jimmy Horn and Xavier Weaver and Dylan Edwards at running back, but coming out of the backfield was just as good, if not better, than the Washington State wide receivers. And I feel like Shadur is more accurate than their quarterback. And they beat them 50-24. I'm like, bruh, this is in Colorado. Washington State was on the road.
I just don't know how you call offense like you running pass scale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to attempt to run the ball.
Yeah. Well, Carson Carpenter get in and say, is Texas not as good as we thought? Well, it could have been a hangover from that. It could have been a hangover. Well, we won't know that until next week. Whoever they play next week, even if it's a cupcake, if they don't blast them like they're a cupcake, or if it's a conference game, you know, beat them. I think it was you had that, again, I said it earlier, Alabama hangover. So what you got to say?
Totally on brand for Texas, though, Coach. Totally on brand for them to go and do something and then pat themselves on the back about it all damn week and then gag next week.
I got you.
You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, man. And this game ain't over. Shit, there's 12 minutes left. They're only up 7.
They have Baylor next week, and Baylor is atrocious.
Bro, Baylor was struggling with Long Island.
Baylor got athletes, though, man. They got some athletes on defense.
They got a fire.
They won damn Big 12.
Bro, Long Island. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with y'all. I did not know Long Island had a football team. I know they're good in basketball, bro. I did not know they had a football team.
It ain't much.
Bro, that's crazy. And I'm like Shawty, man. Shawty talked about this. Baylor does have athletes. I mean, so maybe it's what Jason says. Maybe Aranda just lost his touchdown or something.
Yeah, they got some thing going on outside. It ain't got nothing to do with like he don't lost the locker room type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm serious, man. When you listen to him at Big 12, the questions would be asked to be a straightforward, simple question. And he's going and talking about some obscure passage out of a damn history book that nobody's read. And that guy, you know what I mean? And
he
I
probably
mean,
wrote
all the reporters in the room didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. They sure as shit don't at 19 years old.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Connecting with those kids like that. And I mean, look, I like Dave Aranda. I think he's definitely a little weird, but I think as a coordinator, it's okay to be a little weird. Right?
Yeah, not as a head coach.
Well, I mean, you know, some of those guys just can't be head coaches. Sometimes they just want to coach ball. Like man,
that's right.
I mean,
well, you can go from sugar to shit real fast now.
Colorado State just returned a fumble, and my man hit him with the primetime dance streaking into.
I see it. Oh my God! Listen, quick, switch subjects. What's going on, Maurice? This is my guy, man. Follow the channel for a long time. Shout out to Maurice, man, for getting in. He wanted to know, Shawty, me and you. How about the dogs? He said we actually grew up tonight. What you think, Shawty?
You know,
oh shit.
I can say yes to that because you know it was good to be able to take a gut punch and bounce back from being down, you know, 14-3 at halftime. So I like that, you know. So I can agree with that. But you know, I'm sticking very firm with this season with this motto of this right here. We are baking a cake, and the ingredients this year are just going to be a little bit different. It ain't gonna look like it's been looking in the past. But ultimately, I just need for the cake to come out nice and all good with all W's. I don't care how you got to win by 1 point. It just might not be as pretty. You know what I'm saying? But we baking that same kind of cake. Trust me.
You just gotta cook it all the way. You know, you can't take a cake out in 10 minutes if it's supposed to cook for an hour.
Right. We build it. We want to peak at the right time.
Listen, but I think, like you said, it is something to what Mari said. Kirby kind of spoke on it at the end of the game. He said, you know, we didn't look good in the first half. We took that gut punch, but we came out. He even talked about Carson not looking as good in the first half, but coming out in the second half, hitting all the throws that he needed to throw. So Kirby always talks about, you know, the adversity that he wants this team to go through at the beginning of the season so he can know who's going to show up and who's not going to show up. And I think,
what Coach said last week, he said, hey man, whenever we knew we were way better than the team, we're going to kick their ass, I intentionally put them in bad positions to where they could see how they deal with it.
Kirby, listen, Kirby definitely does that same kind of thing because he wants to know at the end of the season how they're going to respond to adversity. So shout out to Maurice for talking about the growing up today. I think that did help some of those players. I'm going to be honest with you. I can guarantee you, if we was in the locker room, Kirby got on Jamon Dumas Johnson ass because he literally olayed a play when Spencer Rattler was like, he wasn't even down. He was like, he was going down, trying to put his hand down, and he like literally moved his hand out the way and didn't get, like, what linebacker passes up a legal cheap shot on a quarterback, dog? Like, I was like, and then he whiffed on the one-on-one with Spencer Rattler. And then in the second half, he made a couple of big plays right at the line of scrimmage. I'm like, Kirby probably cussed his ass out at halftime because he was the same guy that Kirby had to get on in spring about not bringing his all. You ain't arrived yet, that kind of thing, man. And Jamon Dumas Johnson is supposed to be the leader of the defense. So shout out to Maurice for bringing that up.
Look how much of our depth is getting experience in real live bullets.
Big facts. DB said Randall, back to that Baylor we was talking about. He said Randall lost the team when he benched Bohannon at QB. God, that might be a good one right there, man. I mean,
he told him early that they weren't going to bring. I mean, that was so stupid that he like told him that they were moving on from him and just let him go in the portal. You don't know what's going to happen with a freaking freshman. What the hell's wrong with you?
Big facts. So, hey, that was a bad move. You said he was a weird guy, Jason, and that was definitely a weird move by supposedly experienced guys. Some guys are just
like, they'll act like there's a competition just so these guys don't run off.
Yeah.
Like, tell him, hey, so you can go find another place to go. That was a weird move to me. I wouldn't. I mean, shit.
Kirby and Nick do it, and a lot of the best coaches do that. You try to say, "Hey, it's a quarterback battle," when you really know who the guy
whether
is.
it is or it isn't. Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah, Mars say the dogs always fight back.
I thought Oklahoma screwed that up last year when they publicly gave the starting position to get Dillon. They said you're getting, so they didn't get anybody to back them up.
Yeah, this is to Mars' comment. You right, Mars. The dogs do fight back, but I think that speaks to something me and Jason have always talked about: the competitive depth that you have when it comes to the elite teams. You can wear down teams and you can fight back in second halves when you have more depth than somebody else. You know what I'm saying? We could see that obvious in the third and fourth quarter when we was just running the ball. It wasn't that South Carolina. South Carolina had guys that was making plays in the first half, but at the end of the day, man, TJ, what was his name again? Stat guy, TJ what?
TJ Sanders.
TJ Sanders balled out in the first half, but it's like the dude just ran out of gas, and that's not to his fault. That's to, they got to get more depth behind him so he can get some breaks.
Right? Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, they lost. Listen, that's what me and Stat guy always talked about. Jordan Burch going to Oregon wasn't a huge blow like playmaker wise, but it was a blow depth wise. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got you.
And that was the difference in the game. They were just better up front on both sides of the ball in the first half.
Not only
the defensive line, the offensive line, they just were better up front.
We brought in 3 guys from the portal on the defensive line. None of them have yet to even suit up in a game, and it's like hurt injuries. So I mean, it's just like when you already that's a position of weakness. I will tell you this though, one thing I'm excited about: we're starting 2 true freshmen on the offensive line now after week 1. We made that change, and so
I had a tackle, right?
Yeah, the left tackle Tree is a true freshman, and he was our highest recruit last year. So it's like going ahead and getting these guys reps now is going to do nothing but make us better in the long term because they're getting real reps against real competition.
Big facts, man. Steve G
playing hard for their coach, man. They're backing up his shit talking.
Listen, what you talking about, Jason? Ain't nothing like watching your players play hard for you after you went out there and put your foot in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like they was like, "We got you, coach. We got you." Like that makes coach better. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this is crazy.
Listen, that one thing you got to learn about this weekend, though, bro. You got to play for 4 quarters.
You do.
Play 4 quarters.
And they're probably going to run out of gas here. I don't. Look, Nebraska gave him a punch in the mouth or 2 last week too, and then he still got blown out.
Yeah. But Charlie hit it, man. You got to play 4 quarters. The game is 4 quarters for a reason. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's a flag.
Travis Hunter just got knocked out.
That's a flag.
Uh-oh.
He might get kicked out, man.
They're ahead of me. They say Travis Hunter just got knocked out.
Yeah, he's on the sideline.
He might get kicked out. That's like
that's a flag for sure.
That's a flagrant.
Ooh, he talking trash to the position coach. You see that? But these dudes is coming up. Listen. When I did the video Colorado State, Colorado, and I asked if this was a heated rivalry or a friendly rivalry.
Absolutely.
Listen, some of the guys say it was a friendly rivalry. It don't look like a friendly rivalry right now.
It was just his shoulder. It wasn't even that bad. It was just his shoulder.
It was after the ball had already hit the ground. Those stats.
Yeah, that was.
So let me pose this to the panel. Like this is almost like the NFL. Like some players, a coach can't tell me shit. I make more money than you.
That's in the NIL days.
Yeah, I'm saying like Shador he getting $4.1 million this year.
He making more than the CSU coach.
Yeah, he making the head coach got $5 million a year.
Hey man, this has turned out to be a spicy game, dog. No, this is crazy. Like you say, Jason, I'm still with you. I think they're gonna run out of gas, but hey, right now it's a good game.
That was chicken shit. It was already interference before that, and then he comes in and hits him.
Yeah.
That's a late hit.
Look at Shiloh. Ooh, it's getting testy out there now.
He never even touched his hands.
Don't poke the bear. That's all I can say. Don't poke the bear.
Hey, but you know what? This is what they had to do. They had to come in here and try to dirty it up and ugly it up. You know they had to. They ain't got the guys to play with them.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, but Colorado ain't showed me nothing else otherwise. I might as well keep poking it.
You're right about that. Listen, Mars got a point, man. This is the beginning of the season. This might be the craziest start to a college football season we've seen in years. It's been
wild.
It's great,
man. No shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's great for college football, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like I know some people not happy with the the moving of the teams in the college and then conference expansion. That guy.
They're popping.
Hey,
stop watching. How about that? You don't like it? Stop watching and go watch golf. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm with Stephen G, man. Stephen G said I'm with it. Like people said this weekend was gonna be trash. I looked at the schedule and thought it was some good games on the schedule, but
I don't know what people were talking about.
I'm like,
I had no idea.
Bruh, and this weekend has built out to be a really good college. I mean, it's not next weekend. Next weekend is really good.
Next weekend is
Woo!
Trash ass.
Hey man, that man trying to make some money. Shador making some money, man. He's trying to make some money, man.
They done made Shador mad. Shador said, "Woo!"
And now they're getting up in the cornerback.
I'm talking about that quarterback play right there. That's what I'm saying.
But hey,
I love it. I love it. This is college football, dog.
Hey,
I love it.
Coach, you see, as soon as he catches it, the ref has to immediately step in front of him. That's why I said this shit's testy.
But listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. As a coach, I'm not even mad at the dude. Like I'm like, look, listen, it's just a rivalry, dog. Talk your shit. Like, hey, like Prime told him, get the penalty, whatever. Like we got your back. Like I want to see that fight for my guys, especially in an in-state rivalry game, dog. Like, dude,
they gotta make sure they don't get kicked out because they got Oregon.
True. So, but I ain't say put no hands on them. I said you could talk some shit to them though.
Yeah.
Even at 10 o'clock, would this still be the highest viewed game today?
Yeah.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I think so, just because going in it was Colorado State.
Like marquee games out there today.
Yeah.
The game day was there, right?
Game day, big noon, first take live, and the Pat McAfee
stuff. Your mother, your mother's sister, her neighbor, they were all involved.
Big facts. Everybody
in Boulder right now.
60 Minutes was there too to do a special on Dion.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Another one,
dog.
Man, they are popping.
They asked Dion. I saw a little clip. They asked Dion who was the best coach in college football. He said, "Bring me a mirror."
Yeah, bring me a mirror.
Bring me a mirror.
I heard they already talking about adding another 25,000 to the stadium.
They got it. They're gonna have to do something.
They're interviewing Offset right now.
I think they hold 45,000 or some shit like that.
Listen, Jason showed this morning the college football kickoff show this morning. David Toss Bus was on. He said, "Man, it's crazy in Boulder."
On the show, the freaking. I mean, we went up from 50 to 100 right away.
Hey, listen, man. He said it's so crazy in Boulder. He didn't even go to the game today. They did not return his tip.
So many eyes getting poked at the bottom of that.
Oh, he fumbled.
I saw somebody throw a punch. 14 threw a punch. 13 threw a punch.
It's dirty.
Hey, Shawty, this might like them Georgia Tech games back in the day, ain't
it? There's going to be an all-out brawl soon.
13 threw a punch, though.
Like I said, Georgia Tech, late 90s, all-out brawl.
Boom. The shit out
at the Pajama Jammy Jam, but we won't talk about that, though.
I got plenty of pictures from that.
Hey, South Carolina Clemson meeting at the bottom of the hill.
Bruh, both of them getting banned from the bowl game. That's what Robert. Listen, I'm not advocating for fighting. The fanatic is not advocating for fighting, but this is what college football rivalry is about. No,
it's a physical game, man. It's a physical game.
Hey, there's been a couple of times where I didn't know if Oklahoma, Texas was gonna make it to the game, dog.
You gotta stand your ground. That's all there is to it.
That preseason, that pregame at the state fair, dog. It looked a little testy sometimes, dog.
Hey, I went to one. The first one I went to when I was a kid, they fought in the pretty much.
Bruh, these dudes be taking it that serious.
I can remember that.
Hey,
Jason, how could y'all slide up in the rankings? My bad, coach.
No, you good. You good.
What'd you say?
He said,
how far y'all move up in the rankings?
I don't know, man. It's Tulsa. But I mean, I hope they don't really move them much. I hope they keep overlooking them right now. I really
no. You moving up, dog. I'm sorry, but you are moving up. Hey, minimum 2 spots. Minimum 2 spots. Because like I said,
I hope they keep overlooking Oklahoma right now. I really do.
It was just Tulsa, but at the end of the day, you beat them like their name was Tulsa. You feel me? Like that's what they look for. You know what I'm saying?
And again, even last week when everybody was saying what they said about SMU and all that, SMU's got a good team. They just went beat the brakes off of Prairie View today. It's Prairie View, but they did what they were supposed to do, right? So, to me, I feel like it was important for them to go and do what they were supposed to do. And when they got tested a little bit by SMU, they blew them out from there and covered. You know what I mean? They scored 2 quick touchdowns. I don't know. I still think, look, last year we saw the first 3 games, they looked pretty good on defense. First 3 games, they looked pretty good on defense. But we need to see this translate into conference play and beyond. I like the way the offense is playing. I love the way the defense is playing. This is the best, the most.
Loses.
I haven't been this optimistic about what we're seeing on defense.
38-31.
Wow.
Told y'all. Too many points. Told you. Shout out to Nathan, man. BYU with the win in Arkansas, nonetheless. I did say take those points, by the way. And Captain Butters, man, for the whole trajectory, the flight path trajectory, spelling out beat Arkansas and the BYU logo, man. That was so dope.
That was dope, right?
Yeah. Stevie G say sorry, Jason. Texas opened up the floodgates on.
I'm not sorry about it. Let everybody keep talking about that. They're not supposed to lose that game. And it shouldn't have been that damn close as long as it was either. So I don't want to hear them wanting their flowers anymore either. Shut up.
Big facts.
Something.
So Mars says he even remembers Clemson fans saying that their team wouldn't be the same without Brent Venables, and this is me and Stat Guy talk about this all the time. Like, bro, and Charlie said something like this when we was talking about the show. It's like the coaching staff at Alabama ain't that same caliber. It's the same thing at Clemson. Like, you can put an analyst out there, but that guy's used to being behind the film. And this is one thing I told Stat Guy: difference between Brent Venables and Wes Goodwin at Clemson. Brent Venables looked like a guy. He might not win the fight physically, but he's gonna take you a couple. He gonna take you a couple rounds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wes looked like he'd been sitting in front of a computer the whole time, and your team take on your personality, dog. And I don't think he that guy to get him that fired up and stuff like that. So, hey, shout out. You're right, man. They don't look the same, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the final score in that Clemson FAU game was, but Clemson did have a pick 6 early, so I think that probably was.
Last I saw, Clemson was up big.
Okay, I got you. So
they blew them out. They blew out but they didn't play anybody either.
They play Florida State next week. They play Florida State at home next week. Kansas.
When Florida State wins one, I'll believe they can.
That's where I'm at with Jason. I got to see them beat them first.
Well, that's what I told one of the Florida State fans. He passed me in the grocery store. He was like talking about Georgia, and he brought up Florida State. And I was like, well, we ain't worried about Clemson. I'm like, bro, you got to beat them before you're not worried about them, dog. I don't care how bad they look. You haven't won. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's what we do sometimes as fans. You see a little good something here and there. And I'm like, bro, you still haven't done it. It's the same way, bro, it doesn't matter until we see it. You can't be like, we're not worried about them. You better be worried about them.
Texas has played for one conference championship in 14 years, in the weakest the Big 12 was ever. They were losing teams, and they played for one freaking conference title.
And to that, Jason, people used to say, "Oh, Alabama runs the SEC." I was like, "No, Alabama runs college football. They ain't ran the SEC in a long time. They don't even make it to the championship 2 or 3 years in a row." You know what I'm saying? I say Oklahoma.
I've heard
Oklahoma. I was like, and Oklahoma was running the Big 12. Like, there was no, I swear, there was no roadblocks or anything. Exactly.
But
Clemson, like 6 in a row. Ohio State, 6.
Baylor won 3 freaking conference titles with 3 different coaches, and Texas didn't get one.
That's fact. That's fact.
Yeah, I got a new one. Watch.
You got the toilet, not the toilet.
For the Okie
not the toilet. Maurice says, Tony, what you think about Bell at running back? We like him, Maurice. I want him to change his number. Like CA said that yesterday on the show, but I
want y'all
like
to
him.
get over that number shit, man. Like I don't care what he wins.
86
They
is a
can put on 000. You know what I'm saying? Just give him the rock. He's the most explosive running back that we have.
Yep.
Period.
Big facts, man. And he was getting like 5 and 6 yards a pop, dog. He had like 5 carries for 19 yards. So he had 2. One of those was that end around that I didn't. That was one of the calls that I do agree that was a bad call. But for the most part, when we ran him straight ahead, they couldn't stop him.
And he's decisive. That's what I like about him.
Mhm.
Like when it's time to hit it, yes.
He can see it. He can see it. It's like a lot of times you get those running backs back there to just kind of say run through the 2 gap, and then we're gonna run through the 2 gap. Like he can see it. You know what I'm saying? He sees it before he goes and he hits it. Like you say, he's decisive. When he say he want to bounce it out, he bounces it out right now. If he want to stay straight and run down the middle, he gonna run down the middle, and his forward lean as a running back. I always look for the forward lean. His forward lean is crazy, dog. Like it's almost
no
like
other back has 60+ yard potential. Like on
one play. Yeah.
He the only one got it.
Big facts. I'm with that. Look at Shador. What's what we're gonna do?
Is Hunter back in? Is Hunter back in the game?
I haven't seen it yet.
Not yet. I just I'm a little bit behind.
So look, that's the big thing about that. When you lose somebody like Hunter, you lose 2 positions.
That's right. And that's why I was saying, hey, look, man, I've been wondering how long that was going to take. And that's the one thing that I get it that they're letting him rest during the week and all that. But, man, you can't go for the whole damn season going 130 plays, man. That's just a lot. You know what I mean?
Because I think to that point, Jason, injuries are higher when your body's more fatigued. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas if he was only playing one way
during the week and not practicing, but it just seemed like a lot to me, man. And hopefully,
just on offense, you taking unnecessary contact.
Right. Always.
Like, literally, that hit just took you out. Like you don't even need to.
That was a bullshit.
But I'm just saying, as a defensive player, you don't even supposed to be out there doing it.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's like
I play
guys.
You to be a cornerback to cover, not tackle.
That's true. Oh no, well, Dion calls that business decisions.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he tells him he doesn't have to practice on Wednesdays, yet he still practices. So I mean, I don't know.
It's a lot on the body. I don't care how in shape you are, though. That's a lot.
I think he's the best player in college football, but I think that's a lot of plays, man, to go week after week after week. And when
I think Brock Bowers was the best player in college football.
Right, that dude is a straight machine. Like,
he's a cyborg, man.
Like, listen, man, South Carolina had him pegged a couple of times in the backfield, dog, and he just would not go down.
The first man never brings this kid down.
They ran a reverse with that man. We had him locked for a 6-yard loss, and he still gained 3
outran the safety. He outran the safety had an angle on him. We talking about a tight end. The safety had an angle on him. And he literally ran flat horizontally and outran the safety and turned it up down the sideline.
Dog, on the end around, the dude, the nickel comes down crashing from South Carolina, had him in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Dude ended up gaining 5 yards, dog. I was like, this dude right here is
he could have gone to the NFL after 1 year.
I will say this, though. This is the best we've done at containing them all 3 years.
Yeah, that's true. He backed his way into a first down a couple of times. I'm like, man, this dude is just ridiculously strong. But you're right, Andrew. There was a couple of other players from other teams and coaches that said he was ready for the NFL after year 1. So
he sure as heck was ready last year, and I'm sure he's great this year.
Oh, he's just stunning, man. No doubt.
That dude bananas, bro.
He's one of those UGA backs, man. He's just one of those UGA backs.
I told my boy today, I was like, hey man, if it get too bad, we just put Brock in the backfield. Like, I mean, why not, man? Just get that guy the ball and let's figure it all out later. Get 19 the ball and we'll figure out the rest later. Because that dude makes plays regardless of what's going on.
Listen, that's the problem you have with him today. He play tight end. Because it's hard to get him the ball more than you would like to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was a running back, it'd be easy just to hand it off.
Yeah, big facts. Yeah.
Well, Sacramento State just beat Stanford, which is funny because Stanford actually Stanford took Sacramento State's head coach last year, and this year, and Sacramento State just beat Stanford at Stanford.
Oh God, bro. Stanford just stopped.
Colorado.
Listen, man. Stanford won 3 games last year. They just lost to Sacramento State. Maybe it's time for Stanford to stop playing football, bro. I mean, go to D2 something. I don't know.
They're going to the ACC.
Oh, they just went to the ACC. They went to the ACC.
And I thought, like, when they said they was making that move, I'm like, who's moving the needle with Stanford and Cal coming to the ACC?
Every other sport for Stanford, not football. Absolutely. They always win that Cubs thing, but like football, nah.
But you know what's crazy about Cal? Cal's board is now trying to change it so people don't call him Cal. They want to be going back to being called Cal Berkeley. And I'm like, that's going to be dumb as hell. Like, who wants to call y'all Cal Berkeley? I barely want to say Cal. Like,
right. We don't respect you in any sport. So, I mean, you couldn't win with Auburn traveling 3,000 miles across country trying to give you the damn game. And then you want us to call you Cal Berkeley. We good, bro.
Nah.
He said Quinn Ewers was 11 for 21 for 131, 2 TDs, and he was the one that called the players only meeting. Maybe they need to talk to him about that. I don't know. This has been my problem with Quinn Ewers. He's been up and down. When he's up, he looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. When he's down, he looks like a guy that should be benched right now. And that's one of the problems I think. Like that was definitely a problem with Texas last year. Bijan was putting him on his back, and Quinn Ewers was so inconsistent. It was crazy. I don't know what Quinn Ewers is going to show up when they play Oklahoma, but if the one that's 11 and 21 show up, that's not going to be good for Texas.
Maybe he's playing scared because he knows the guy behind him, Arch Manning or Murphy, could easily.
Arch Manning ain't ready.
Hell no.
Arch Manning should be at Alabama right now starting.
I don't even think he can. Arch Manning.
You say he ain't ready, Charlie?
Nah.
He's not ready, dude. Their guy is shit. Never mind. I ain't even gonna say it. I don't even want to put it out there into the atmosphere. I don't want to.
Yeah. Malik, I know. I'm with you. I'm Malik Murphy.
I ain't putting him out there.
Yeah. He's
a linebacker.
Hey, but he can play though. I can tell you that he can sling that rock. He can put it in where it needs to put it in the bread basket, and he is super athletic. So. This game is turning out, this Colorado State game, at least in the first half, is turning out to be definitely not what I expected.
Hey, I'll tell you, they flying around the ball, man. I'm going to tell you that.
Hey,
they're out.
I'm taking shots from Okie Lights right now. Hold on real quick.
Oh, Lord.
Man, that Gundy sandwich is spoiled at this point, man.
Spoiled.
Steven, I said the same thing, Steven. I think Bama gonna go all in for Malik Murphy in that transfer portal. I said that they need a quarterback bad, and I know that Julian Sayin is coming in. Julian Sayin, from what I see on his tape, he is a guy that can get it done. He can spin it, but you still got to have a guy. You got to have a quarterback competition, because what if he come in and he can't handle the rigors of the SEC or something like that? Malik Murphy will be a junior next year, right, Jason?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. No, he was a freshman. He was a freshman. I think they redshirted him, so I think he's still a freshman.
I got you. Either way, I think he's going to be in the SEC somewhere next year.
Well, there's about six quarterbacks in the Pac-12.
They're expecting Quinn to leave after this year, so they've got him. They paid his ass. I know they paid him well, but But if Sark, did Sark save his job by beating Alabama, or does he need to win this conference and win 10 games? He still hadn't won 10 games. You do realize this, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I knew that. I just knew he only had to win one on last Saturday. So
how about this?
I think he got a little leeway.
Iowa State, as a program, has never won 10 games ever.
That's crazy. Hey. I think he did win some. I think he did win some grace with the Texas Boosters by going to Tuscaloosa and beating Alabama. Because
you should listen. I'm not even saying, but look, it's one game. It's one game, man. It's like you said, it's one game. You said last week he ain't got to win he ain't got to win 7. It ain't 7 games.
I was about to say.
But look, if you're at Texas and you're paying him what you're paying him, and they're recruiting the way they're recruiting, at some point you got to put those wins on the board, man. You're in the Big 12. It's not like you're already in the SEC.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pose a question to the panel, man. Who's better position? Jason, I'll save you for last, but who's better position coming into the SEC, Texas or Oklahoma? That guy to succeed, I should say, to succeed first year in the SEC.
Who's going to have the most successful first year?
Yeah, like who's positioned right now to better succeed the first year?
Texas, they have the easier schedule.
Okay, that's I felt like I'm telling you, when I saw the schedule, I felt like they might have did that on purpose to get, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, it is an easy schedule compared to Oklahoma. Oklahoma
got to Auburn, you got to go to LSU. You know, you got Bama at home, but
yeah.
We'll see what Bama's about. If they're really on the decline like everybody thinks, maybe that's not as bad a look. I mean, Texas has to. They've got Georgia, but they get you guys in Austin.
At Texas, yeah, that's it though. That's it.
If you ask me 5-year run, who has the best conference record after 5 years, I'm probably going to go Oklahoma. But as far as year one, I think Texas finishes with the better conference record because their schedule is night and day different outside of getting y'all at the house.
I agree.
I got you. Shaw, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't, though, because that's just, again, man, I don't know, man. Maybe they catch lightning in a bottle and do what they do. And listen, I mean, if you start looking at, I don't know, man. I think Jackson Arnold comes in, he's going to be pretty good in his first year, I think it all is going to depend on how good is Alabama. And is LSU really that good? We're going to see. Now, going to LSU at nighttime, it ain't going to matter. That's going to be a nighttime game. Winning that game is going to be, you guys know that, what that's like. You know what I mean? Shawty, have you played at Death Valley at nighttime?
Sure did. We won, too. We won, right, Shawty? We won that
game. Yeah, it was a great game.
It was.
Yeah.
I want to say Champ Bailey had a real good game that game.
Yeah.
And I'll give you and look, Steven's talking about it. He's saying the JFA gives us a better projection. Maybe, you know, I think that we were talking about this earlier. I think out of the quarterbacks that are freshmen this year that are, you know, could play whatever, there's two guys that in the country that have arm talent. It's him and Dante Moore.
I wanted Dante Moore so bad coming out of Detroit.
Dante
we tried
Moore,
to get him.
Dude, I'm surprised shit they started him. I don't get it.
Because Big Ten quarterback Dante Moore.
That dude looked good coming out of Detroit, Michigan, dog. And I was like, God, I wanted him so bad, dog.
I saw him at the All-American Bowl. It's not just having, you know, we talked about how Joe Milton, he can throw the shit out of it, but he ain't good. This dude has arm talent. He throws people open. Shawty, you know that. When you throw somebody open, that's a different deal, right? And he did it. He lit it up at the All-American against All-Americans.
Yeah.
You know, he had like 4 touchdowns. And right away in the first half, he had 4 touchdowns. It wasn't even close. And they were really good throws. And he's staring down the barrel making these throws. He was the real deal. I think that Jackson's the same way. I really didn't like today that they did that quarterback freaking belldozer crap again with him. But I don't want to see that.
Yes, that guy was really high on Jackson when he came out of high school.
Jackson's a stud, man. He is. He can drop dimes too. I mean, he looked great in the Under Armour game.
So Andrew, who do you think Oklahoma or Texas better position to succeed first year in the SEC?
Probably with the recruiting class coming in and their schedule would be Texas. But I'm looking at Oklahoma's schedule, which is like, I guess they threw 12 darts on a board and hit something. You start with Temple and end with Maine? What the frick is that?
Well, they probably be back to back because those aren't in actual like schedule order.
Okay. So it's
the main thing was to add. They just added it because they had to add another non-conference game.
But they did that because look at the conference games, though.
I mean, you have to play. You play Bama at home. You got to go to Death Valley. and you play Texas, and then you have like just random games. You have to home for South Carolina, home for Tennessee, which is great. You got to go to the Grove, go to Auburn, and go to Mizzou. Which, if I had to draw 3 places to go, those aren't the worst places in the world to have to go outside of LSU. That's obviously going to be Mizzou.
But compared to Texas's schedule, that schedule there, like when you compare the 2 schedule, Oklahoma definitely got the short end of the stick.
Year one, who knows? I mean, long term, I think they're both going to be fine because they're going to have that money and they're going to have the pedigree. Sure. And SEC is getting rid of the division, so. And then when you have 12 teams available in the playoffs, you'll probably every year get 4 to 6 out of both the Big Ten and the SEC, and then the other 2.
That's something Coop said last week. He was like, "I don't give a shit if we win another SEC. We don't have to win the SEC championship to get to the playoff."
Do they get rid of championship games? What's the point of it?
No, they didn't. But you're right. With the 12 teams coming, you just got to go to the dance, dog. Once you get to the dance, you can make something happen. After that,
think about that. There's going to be a lot of years that the best team may not win the SEC championship game, and it might be better if they don't.
Why did they even need to have a championship game? If
to that point, Kirby actually mentioned that. Kirby mentioned that early in the summer. He said, not for nothing, it might be more advantageous not to make the SEC championship game and just go straight to the playoffs.
Because you're going to have to play for another 3-4 weeks, including the 12 weeks you already did. I would rather be not chilling on my couch, but like just getting ready
about it is you get that bye though. You get that bye if you don't.
Okay, there you go.
See, that was my argument.
Game, you know what I'm talking about?
That was my argument, Charlie. Like, I want to play in the conference championship to get the bye, so you don't have to play as many games as like when you get to the championship.
The first round is going to be at home venues, though.
Yeah,
but I'd rather
I can be healing up. I got folks in the hot tub.
If you ask me which one I want, if I want to play at home first round or have a bye first round, give me the bye first round. I'll play. I'll play at a neutral site.
But if it's about
I'll play at a
resting,
neutral site in the second round. I'm fine with that.
So say let's Oklahoma and Alabama finish 1 and 2, and they have to play each other. But if you get a bye, congratulations, you play Washington in 2 weeks. Well, if you don't make the championship game, you still have to have that week off, and then you play a lower-ranked team probably. You're still playing a high-ranked team regardless. It's just that do you want the rest now or do you want the rest later? Because you're still going to have to play.
Sometimes the wild
that didn't sound right, though. One ain't going to play 2.
No, he's talking about 1 play 2 in the SEC championship before they get to the playoffs.
Oh, I thought he was talking. I got you.
You're still playing a great game.
Like you got a point that both teams, like the team sitting at home gets that week to rest, and then the championship team gets a first round bye. But give me the first round bye because that gets me 1 game closer to the championship. That bye, when you sitting at home and you're not playing in the conference championship, that don't get you any closer to the playoff championship. You just get a rest week is all you get. I want I want to get closer.
How many wild card teams have won the Super Bowl? It happens. You catch fire, and because you didn't get home, you didn't sit home. You win that first one. It could be a tough game, and then you roll through the rest of them.
And if you lose that game, you're going to have to – and chances are if you're in the top 2, just in these – let's just talk the Big Ten and SEC, you're probably going to make it into the next round. That means you're going to get no rest. You play every week, you play the championship game, and then you play the first round of the playoffs.
I'm going to tell you who's the loser in that situation, the loser of the conference championship game.
That's right.
They get no rest.
No rest, and they are beaten to heck. And they've just played an elite team and playing another elite team next week.
I mean, you still want to win the conference, but I get it. I'm with you on that, Andrew. I think you're right. I think that there's, again, that's why Coop was saying on my show, he was like, look, man, it's not about whether we win the conference championship now. It really isn't. Now that it's going to 12 teams, it's probably going to go to 16 before long.
Eventually.
Yeah, man. So
why do you care? Why would you care? You know what I mean?
That's right.
You go and you do what you do.
Hey, listen, that seeding, listen, everybody always talk about that, but trust me, that seeding matters. I'd rather start at number 1 and finish at number 1 and have because the seeding matters. It's just like people always say about the rankings. I don't care where you rank that. Okay, all right. Lose a game or something and see what happens.
True.
Yeah. If you 15 and you lose the game, it's different if you 1 through 4 you lose the game.
I'm just saying, like, you get some of these great epic games in conference that used to be, if you lost it, that was it for you, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
think about, like, Georgia, when y'all last year or year before last, when y'all lost in the conference championship game, but y'all just didn't play that good, right? But you knew you were the better team, and they went and beat the shit out of them in the championship game after that, right? I mean, y'all came loaded that second time around, but I mean, you think about it, it was a good
Listen,
game.
I would have rather won that SEC championship.
Of course you would have. Of course
not
you
have
would
to
have.
fight through that adversity.
What I'm saying
You
is,
know what I'm saying?
you're gonna more often get these games that were epic games that, hey man, I could have watched that forever. You know what I mean? And we almost had that one, and it screwed you out of even having a shot at it. Now you're gonna more often see that, hey man, we might get to see that game again. We might get to see that Tennessee Alabama game again, from last year or whatever. I mean, it was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
But and same with like LSU. You think they're gonna beat Alabama the second time? I'm doubting it. Right?
That's true. It's hard to beat a team twice. Y'all know that.
Yeah, hard.
Man.
Twice, yeah.
So with all this extension of playoffs, does that also extend where the bowls play 2 weeks in advance as well, and we're having bowls in February or January?
No. I think they
I
move.
think
I think they move them up. To be honest with you, I think they move them.
Yeah, they're going to do that first
closer.
round as soon as the bowls are starting, right? And they're going to be home games, and then they'll go. That next week will be
closer to the championship. You get less rest. So now
like wild card weekend and shit. It's going to be like the NFL, guys.
It's going to be the NFL. It already is the NFL. What are we talking about? I mean, we are watching professional players on the field on every station that we try to find that will be playing on our TVs on Sunday. And they're getting paid sometimes more than the coaches. And, it's like NFL light.
Listen, Stephen G say he's heard from some insiders that they ready to pay Jimbo's contract off. I've been telling people.
They were talking about that last
Texas.
Money doesn't matter.
Listen.
70 million.
I've been telling people.
80 million.
Who cares?
I've been telling people, man, Texas A&M got money, dog. Like, they backers got money. And listen, at the end of the day, if they don't
Coach,
get the
he
job
getting 10 million a year, Jason.
How much is crude oil up to a
It's
barrel?
about 70. Ain't it about 70 million, 8 million paid off?
They'll owe him 80 million.
Listen, how much y'all paying for gas?
How much money are they going to get more, next year?
How long did it take Notre Dame to pay off his shitting contract? They did it in like 15 years, man.
Bro,
and the guy you bring in, you're going to have to give at least 7 million.
You got to, who's going to come in and take that damn job for less than what you just gave Jimbo to go shit all over the place?
Well,
that's sort of the point. That's
kind of my point. You're going to at least have to give somebody at least 7 million.
Well, crude oil is at $90 a barrel, and 90% of the people that owns that are Texas A&M boosters. They lose $70 million in their couch cushions, and they have 15 houses, so they can probably
look at what SMU just did. They bought their way into the ACC, which is a shit conference, and they were like, "It's just $200 million. What are we talking about?"
Hey. They was like, we don't need your TV contract revenue money. We got money, dog. We just want.
We don't need that.
They just wanted to be P5. They just wanted to be P5. That is all they wanted to be,
bro.
SMU's like, hey, we know what the death penalty looks like. Been there, done that. We don't.
And they'll go right back to doing the same shit. And except for now, they can do all that for free.
They do that. They're coming for Dion. They're coming for Dion with the Brinks.
Dion Jr.
He can't afford to leave right now. It ain't enough money you can give Dion.
No,
he
just
can't leave right
now.
I don't know. $100 million makes a lot of money.
Till Travis Hunter goes, he
go
going nowhere, though.
Oh, don't say that, Hank.
He can't leave right now. It'd be too bad from a PR standpoint.
Hank said Jeff Levy to A&M. Woo! Saucy.
No, look, A&M already has their next coach anyway. They hired him as offensive coordinator this year. All the players.
I've been telling him, Stephen G, he ain't leaving his son or Travis Hunter. I've been telling him.
But he can't leave.
I'm more on stat guys. Like they'll keep Bobby Petrino before
his son might leave him. He might go to the other
because I'm gonna tell you what, if Dion would have go to Texas A&M,
it ought to be Jeff Traylor. Is who it ought to be.
If Dion would have leave to go to Texas A&M, I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't trust him. He'll be too much of a salesman at that point.
He's not gonna go over there. He's not.
Yeah,
He's not.
I was
He
just kidding, but I just know that they're
can't
going to
leave.
go after everybody. You know they can pay.
We know they can pay. You're right, Andrew. They're
Yeah.
gonna
They'll
pay
go after
whatever.
All money ain't good money in a certain situation like this.
It's so ain't. You go over there. That's where coaches go to die. That's it. Coaching careers go to die in freaking College Station.
Colorado State came to play, man.
I know Colorado State's not going away.
Fellas, I gotta get out of here. But
yeah, we actually about to end, man. You know,
Yeah.
I got some homeboys over here, so I appreciate y'all jumping on with me, man. We're gonna stay checking out this Colorado State game, man. Before we get out of here, everybody go around, man. Shawty, starting with you, man. Tell them where they can find you and come check your content out.
Yeah, man, you can find me on YouTube Wednesday nights at 9:30. Just my damn opinion. I just really kind of chop it up about a little bit of everything, man. Sports talk, real talk, you know what I'm saying? Whatever's going on. So yeah, if you just want to just kick it, have a good time, it's just my damn opinion. Jump on.
Still waiting on my invite to
9:30.
just my damn opinion. Shit.
Oh well, shit! It's always open with you guys. I thought,
It's just your damn invite.
Yeah, you always
right.
got an open invitation. I invite anybody. You're always open with me.
All right, Andrew, tell them where
I'll
they can
shoot
check you out
you
at,
the
man.
link.
All right, bro.
Just follow me on Sidelines Penn State on Twitter or X or whatever the heck we would call it, and probably catch me here every Saturday night. I love kind of getting some thoughts in my head throughout the day, and I know that we get to chop it up from about 10 to around this time, 11:45 or so, and appreciate it as always. Can't wait to chop it up next week.
That's right, Jason. Give the people your stuff, man.
At CFB-pod on YouTube, HOFmedia.us, and at JW_HOF on Twitter. Man, you guys know me. I'd leave a toothbrush over here. So
That's right. That's right, man. You know what I'm saying? I got some deodorant over there on the Hall of Fame Mafia. So, hey, man, listen, Jason, though, me and Charlotte was talking, man. Me and you guys to get together, man. We got to get our boy JJ out of the hole, man. I don't know what's going on.
He ain't even been on my show in a while lately either.
No,
man.
neither one. Hey, since they lost that Cincy
He
game,
did go on that. He did go on Shelton's show this morning, and he did good.
Okay.
But they were hating on him from the Florida guys were hating his ass.
So shout out to
tough
JJ
right
man.
now, man. It's tough.
Yeah, shout out to JJ, man. Talking college football with JJ Kitchen, man. Y'all go check him out. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah, we're getting close, man. He needs to hit that 1,000 mark, man. We got to get him there.
That's right. That's right. Stat guy, tell him where they can find you, dog.
Yo, man, I'm on the Fanatic Sports Network. We do college football previews. We do the Saturday night snap count. You already know I'm in the comment section on Tuesday night for Respect the Hedges, talking my trash. I'll be there this Tuesday to take some more medicine, like a good kid that I am. But on Twitter, come find me at Jeff the Stat Guy 1 for all your delusional South Carolina needs or your Atlanta Braves playoff talk. As that nears by, we'll get ready to rock and roll for playoff baseball.
That's right. If you want more picks like the ones, Coach, I've been trying to tell y'all with Tennessee in the 7.5 and BYU with that 7.5, 10.5, whenever you caught it, check our preview weekly college football picks video on every Tuesday, man. We give you 10 games, dog. We ain't telling you to live by our picks. I'm just giving you a little insight, entertainment purposes only, man. For Shawty, Jason, Andrew, Stat Guy, Coach out, man. We out of here.
Shout out to Creature Comfort too, man.
Oh,
Shout out
absolutely.
to Creature Comfort, dog.
Great show, by the way.
Hey, if you're there, get the Rowdy Red. I'm just letting you know.
Really good.
Get the Rowdy Red.
Sir.
Rowdy
I'm not a beer drinker, and I fell in love with it.
That's right, man.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
appreciate all y'all in the comments. Appreciate the Hall of Fame Mafia, Maurice, Mike Freeman, all y'all always checking in, man. We appreciate y'all. We out of here, man. Y'all watch this game. It's going to be a good one. All right.